Greetings and salutations, gang. It's good to have you back again. For those of you tuning in for the first time, I am the Articulate Grunt. Welcome to my channel. Well, I decided to do this first thing in the morning, as I still have a little bit of voice, though. Don't hold me to it. By the time I'm done, it'll probably be gone. It's still going out on me. I'm still working research. I'm just not putting out as many videos because I don't have any voice for the majority of the day. But sex, drugs, and jail time. Let's get started with sex. Now, as we all know from all over the media, retired General David Petraeus, director of the CIA, handed in his resignation and was allowed by Obama to resign. A lot of people are saying, oh, this is bullshit. Nobody resigns over an affair. He just had a little thing. Those Washington guys, they stay in. No, it's a cover-up. There's something bigger. And okay, there may be something bigger going on, but I served in the 101st. I served under General Petraeus. I was in the 101st from 2004 to 2009. And while I only met him a few times, I didn't serve directly for him. I served under him in the division. You get to know a man like him. His integrity, his honor. I was actually surprised the affair happened at all. The fact that once it came to light, he took the samurai route and threw himself on his sword, metaphorically speaking, and resigned rather than risk further embarrassment to the organization and to the country as a whole. That does not surprise me at all. And really, with as many problems and complaints as we've got with our politicians, I'd still love to see him on the 2016 ticket. I already know where I was voting. But, reviewing numerous media sources and information that's been put out there, here's the basic gist of what I've been able to gather went down. This Paula Broadwell, his former affair partner, for some reason, as of yet undisclosed, sent threatening emails to another lady who at the time was working closely with retired General Petraeus at the CIA. That lady, being concerned, went to the FBI with the information. The FBI then started looking into Miss Broadwell, found that she had access to some of Mr. Petraeus's emails. They thus started an investigation into why. It was quick and easy to find that she was his biographer during Afghanistan, that she'd been previously embedded in Iraq, and then following up on that, found that while together she may have had access to his email, not directly like being able to log in and such, but open access to his computer, his services, BlackBerry, all those kind of things. This led to discovery of the affair, which then came out. And Mr. Petraeus, being the man he is, most likely, considering that he terminated the affair when he left the Army and went to the CIA, probably already confessed it to his wife. He took the high road, admitted to it rather than trying to deny it or cover it up or bullshit anything, and has stepped down. Although, as I said, the affair was a surprise, his path of response, once it came to light to be an embarrassment, was not, at least not to me. Thank you, sir. Moving on from the sex, let's go to the drugs. So, pot has been legalized for recreational use in Washington and Colorado. Washington takes effect on the 6th of December. That in mind, two of the most populous counties, most heavily populated, in Washington, have decided, under the guidance of their county prosecuting attorneys, to drop a combined total of 220 cases that would not be prosecuted were the new law already in effect. Now, so you know, under the new law, the pot has to be provided by a licensed grower, sold by a state licensed store, and then you must be 21 years or older, same as alcohol, to purchase it. And you can possess 1 ounce or less of solid marijuana, 12 ounces or less of a solid substance infused with extract of marijuana. So, when you're making your brownies, after you finish boiling down the butter and everything to get that green butter to make the brownies, so you can have the pot brownies, you better not have more than 12 ounces of any solid substance. In addition to both of those, you could also, or have up to 72 ounces of a pot-infused liquid substance, such as beer, ale, wine, those kind of things. Anything over that is prosecutable. If you're under the age of 21, it's prosecutable. Also, it is for private use only. Any public use is chargeable. But they've also changed how it's going to be charged. It is no longer going to be a jailable offense. However, it will be heavily fined. That's right, you won't go to jail, but you will pay a buttload of money for violating the new law. Now, as many of you know, I'm very down on our penal system here in America, and especially like the life incarceration and the cost and everything incurred therefore by. So, I just want to point out, these 220 cases they're dismissing, let's say they all serve 6 months. The state of Washington, just in the upkeep of those 220 individuals, will save $5,170,000. Right there. Now, they are not going to be dropping charges against anyone caught prior to the law with compound infractions, i.e., if the possession of 1 ounce or less of pot was your only infraction, yes, they're looking at dismissing it. But if it was in conjunction with other charges, let's say you were speeding, got pulled over, found to be under the influence, and had possession of a ½ ounce of pot, you will stand and be charged on all 3, because you'd still be in violation of the new law even once it took effect. So, let's move on to the jail time. For those of you that don't know who Jared Lee Loughner is, he was the shooter who shot Senator Gifford almost 2 years ago. He finally had his day in court, and the feds went with a plea bargain. Instead of trying him and trying to get the death penalty, he will instead serve 7 consecutive life sentences, plus 140 years, never again to set foot outside of a jail, for killing 6 people and wounding 13 others. This is freaking ridiculous. Let's do some quick math. So, let's say he's 24, let's say he lives to the age of 70, he gets incarcerated, not counting inflation or anything else, medical or anything. He costs $47,000 a year to maintain. He will now cost the American taxpayers $2,162,000 to lock him away so he can't hurt anybody for the rest of his life. Yay. When we know he did it, it's on camera, there's dozens of witnesses, and for those of you that are like, oh wait, he's mentally off balance, he was found capable of determining right and wrong in his actions. He was found legally capable of standing trial. Our only hope now is that the state, who can prosecute separately, will decide to go for the death penalty and hopefully get this piece of crap out of the system and out of the gene pool. As many of you who have watched my vids before know, it's one of those things that just chaps my hide. If there's some extenuating evidence or something, they already tried to find it. They didn't. Hopefully the state will go for the death penalty and rid the taxpayers of this additional burden. Not to mention, with an individual like this, he's going to wait a couple of years, and he's going to be going for an appeal and costing the taxpayers even more money. When we know what happened, we know he's guilty. Just be done with it. Well, that all being said, I know I just said sex, drugs, and jail time, but I want to take you on a little bit of a tangent too. The average cost of an elderly person in an assisted care home costs around $4,000 a month. So $48,000 a year. Where maintaining an inmate costs $47,000 a year. These same inmates have surveillance cameras, constant monitoring, recreational facilities, 3 square meals a day with a varying diet by federal mandate due to prisoner rights and privileges, humane treatment and all that stuff, and a list of other things. On the flip side, a quick note on our assisted living homes and facilities. The inspecting agencies that review assisted living facilities in the U.S. found that 56% in 2010 did not meet the minimum required standards. But, once again, due to overcrowding and a demand on resources, were given waivers to clean up their act and allowed to continue in service. In many of these facilities, our elderly get 2 baths a week and commonly eat the same food on a repetitive basis despite complaints do not get their medications on time, and in some cases, such as one I found, the regularly served, as in 3 to 6 times a week, dinner meal is a bologna sandwich. These are our elderly. These are our parents, our grandparents, our great-grandparents. Let's send them to jail. Let the prisoners go to the assisted living homes. Really? Where are our priorities? When our elderly are living in that poor of conditions, and our prisoners are living in what in some foreign countries would be considered 4- and 5-star hotel accommodations. I am the Articulate Grunt. That was the last little thought for you to think about for this vid, and I hope to see you later. But to be honest, it'll be a couple days. My parents are coming in today, and they're staying for a couple of days, so I might not be back. Take care of yourselves. Keep your heads down. I will catch you later. Bye.